Hi guys, it's Migs here again, and in this video today we're going to look at how we're going to modify your toll gates. They're basically the barriers, how they open and close, if you want to keep them open, and how they work with the lights. So obviously you guys are aware of how we do things already, and if you're not, just check on the links below. It will open up the videos that you need to check before you get to this video. But yeah, let's dive right in. As usual, let's open up the My Mods folder. Here we go. It's on your desktop. You open up the dev folder, and in here, we're going to look into the world today, right? So to get the files in here, obviously go back to your base. I must say that we are now coding or editing in version 1.45. So if you are still on a previous version, just take note of the fact that some of the files might not be exactly the same, some of the parameters, which I've noticed since the previous version, things have changed slightly. So keep that in mind because it will impact on your game. So I suggest you then convert over to the 1.45 and continue editing on the 1.45. Okay, opening up the base folder, we open up the dev folder, we go into the world folder. Here we're going to be looking for 4 files. We're going to be looking for the road look, I'm going to press control, road look template, semaphore model, and semaphore profile. So right click and copy these ones over. There we go. That's done. We can close the base file, the base folder at least, sorry. And let's start one by one. Let's open up your road look. That's what it looks like. It's a lot of gibberish, a lot of values. It's not things that you really want to mess with unless you know what you're doing when you're coding with maps. But the thing that we are looking for, and this in particular, because of the road look, is I said we're going to look at the semaphores and the toll gates. But the road look helps you with the overtaking. So here you can see lanes left, lanes right for this particular road, which is a lane single, lane double, or at least road one lane double. So it's a left and a right lane. And in this case, we have a parameter here says no overtaking. We want to change that. But there's obviously a lot more parameters down here that says no overtaking. So if you want to do this in one fell swoop, what I suggest is let's open up your goggles, binoculars, whatever you want to call them. And I want to click on replace. Okay, click on that. Just ignore all this here. Obviously, you can see I've been editing a bit. What we're going to do is it asks you in the replace file, find what and replace with. So we're going to say dot no underscore overtake. You say control C, you copy that, you place that in here, control V. The next line you're going to say replace with. So every time it finds this command, it's going to replace it with this command. So we're going to go space, space, space. You're going to give it 3 spaces, forward slash, and then control V to paste the same command. Okay. Once you've done that, it's just a matter of saying replace all, and please watch this space over here. See what happens when I click on replace all. Boom. There you go. Everything's been replaced. So we no longer have an no overtake command with this traffic lane. It's basically because of the double forward slash, everything after that gets ignored in the code. So if we scroll down now, earlier I showed you this one. See, that's also been changed. So this whole file has been changed. Okay, once you've done that, let me move this out the way. There we go. Once you've done that, this file is done. There's nothing else to be done in this file. Unless you really want to go crazy and start editing the spacing on the curbs and the shoulder and all that. But I won't suggest you do that because it's going to mess up where the cars drive. And, well, I'm going to give you just one little hint. For example, this is a single lane forward and a single lane, or a single lane left and a single lane right. If you want to convert this single lane into a double lane, basically using the shoulder, if it has a shoulder, you would basically just take this, copy this line, control C, enter, control V. Now it would add lane 1 and lane 2 on the local road. So it would consider lane 2 as your shoulder. All right, that's how effective this can be. And you can add multiple lanes, whereas you could have cars even driving in the fields if you want. That's how far this can go. So if you have multiple lanes then it will affect that. So I'm just going to Control Z just to undo all that. Okay, if you go down and find like this one, for example, motorway. So there's left, left, right, right. So that would be lane 1. Lane 1 is always your fast lane. Lane 2 is always your slow lane. Fast lane, slow lane. So if you had to add a left lane and a right lane, in this section of road, you would actually have the cars driving on the shoulder. That's how you would edit that. But we're not going to do that. That's not part of the deal today. So we have just focused on getting the overtake sorted out. Okay, so now that's done. Save the file, and we can close this file. The next thing we're going to do is road look template. Double click it, and here we're going to do exactly the same thing. You see over here, no overtake. We have exactly the same issue with this file, road look template. So click on that, and just click above where you find your first no overtake so that it finds all the items. And you just say, we're going to use exactly the same command. So it will be no overtake, finding, replacing with space, 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 3 spaces, 2 /, and the same command. I'm going to say replace all. Please watch this as I click on replace all. Boom. There we go. That's been done. And if we scroll down, you'll notice all of them have been changed as well. Okay. That's all we're going to do with these 2 files. This is done. You can now save this, and because you've changed these 2 files, you will get AI overtaking on all local roads, on all single lanes, on all barrier lines, on all curves, on all crests and rises. They will be overtaking left and right, provided that there's space to be done. Okay, so we can close this now. It's been saved. Now let's go to semaphore model. Okay, this is the one that handles the toll gate barriers and your border barriers as well. What we're looking for here is the collisions on these barriers. So basically, if you're driving up to the toll gate and the toll gate doesn't open up in time, you hit into the barrier, you basically collide and the truck stops. So what we want to do now is we want to find, let's type in your toll, T-O-L-L. Click on the page and find next. There we go, right? That's what we're looking for. So from the top down, I'm just going to scroll back up to the top so you can see. So we click on top and we say find next. It's going to find the first available command that reflects toll as stipulated here. Please bear in mind that we do not have any of these highlighted, because if you match the case and match whole word only, you're going to get different results. And keep your search mode as normal. All right. Wrap around, you can leave one. So toll gate. This is the first toll gate that we're going to be using. What we're going to be looking for here is the model collision and the state animation. Because, all right, basically what this is, the description describes what the prefab is. So in this case, it's a toll gate. It's large. It's Italy, France toll gate. And it's the small animation of the barrier. That's a PMD file. This is the PMD collision file. And then we have the PMA, which is the actual animation of the barrier. What we're going to do here, because we've got the toll, you can't use the same command as replace, because there are other commands in here that are not toll that still have a state animation 1 as the case, yeah, state animation 1. You cannot do this as a bulk or a batch change. You have to do this individually. So going back to this here, the first toll, first thing we want to do is we want to remove the collision file. That's the one that causes the truck to hit and stop. So we don't want that, okay? So by doing that, you semicolon, semicolon, tab, tab, //. Okay? You got it? Double semicolon, well, not semicolon, double colon, tab, tab, double //. I've highlighted that section, and I'm going to say Control-C to copy. I want to copy it because from here on in, we're just going to paste that value into the required slots. So now everything you find that's got an animation file in it, you click in the front and you say Control-V, and it adds that command. So what it's doing, it's replacing that parameter with an empty parameter. So it's telling the machine, don't look for anything. There's nothing there. There's nothing to find here. Okay? So move on. So we're going to do that with every single state that causes a collision. So basically, orange to red, that's the traffic light at the toll barrier. So when it goes orange to red, basically that barrier becomes collidable. When it's red, it doesn't matter because the animation is now down. It says there's small down. So when it goes to orange to green, the animation is up. You can see there, small up. So we've removed that. And when it's green, obviously there's no instruction. That is how you alter the tollgate barriers. Okay, if you follow that idea, you'll be able to do all of them the same. Let's just do the next one. Oh, and by the way, if the next values are not toll gates, you can just say find next, and it will pop you up to the next available one. Okay, and you'll see as you go down the file, there's various amounts of these toll gates, and they don't always follow sequence. So you can use this function to find next to take you to the next one. Okay, so we're going to do exactly the same. We're going to say there, Control V to paste, Control V to paste, Control V to paste. There we go. We've added those instructions now. Now the code doesn't see those barriers anymore. Okay, and okay, here's another one. I'm just going to do another one for you to see. Control V, and Control V. All right, we've done 3 toll gates. You see now over here, this is something else. This is a model traffic light, temporary traffic light. If you click on that and you say find next, please watch this over here. It jumped quite a few lines. That's the next one is in Norway. And you'll do exactly the same thing. And you'll keep on doing it all the way until you reach the end for this semaphore model. Keep that in mind. You have to finish the whole thing. Otherwise, you're going to get some toll gates that have got no collisions. Others will have collisions. So you've got to go through the whole thing. And just some advice. Once you've done the whole file, just scroll through it with your mouse. Go through every single line. Make sure you got everything, because you don't want to be caught in the game and you're driving along and next thing you hit the barrier thinking that it's free to clear. So just check all of that. Once you've done with that, save the file. And we can close this one. The next one we're going to look at is semaphore profile. Now this one tells us what to do when, or it tells the machine what to do when we reach the toll gate. And here we're going to look for, okay, reiteration, not only toll gate. This one applies to border barriers as well. So once you reach a border crossing that's got some barriers, these will apply to this file as well. So here we're going to look for 2 commands. One is toll and the other one is barrier. So we're going to start with toll. Let's say find next. There we go. This one is AB toll. It's a default toll gate. What we want to change here, we want to change the barriers to automatic, so that when you get to the barrier, the AI will still slow down, but they won't stop, and the barriers will be open. And you can be charged if you use the auto pass. If you don't use the auto pass, if you use the ones that show the actual euro icon on them, they won't charge you. Okay, there is ways to make it work. So if you want, we can make a video for that, but it's futile, because I know you're all going to dodge into the one that doesn't pay, because you're going to be saving some money. But what we're looking for here is to change the barrier manual to barrier automatic. So what I'm going to do is double click that command. You'll see everything highlights. Control C, double click that one, Control V, and you do that with every single command until you've reached the end. Okay, so all of them have been now changed from manual to automatic. Basically, the manual part requires a trigger. So when you get to the toll gate, you have to stop, you have to press enter, and then it will open up. Okay, that's what the manual part does. Automatic automatically triggers as soon as it senses the vehicle within that given space. This is the interval of the traffic of the lights. Yeah, but there's a section in here that shows you the interval as well. But I'm not going to go into that. That's automatically defined. We don't need to change any of that. So you can see here, some of them already have the automatic badging on it. Okay, for those you don't need to worry about. But let's go. You see a border. There's one over here. It doesn't say toll, but there's border. But we can do that once we do a round, because at the moment we're focusing on toll. Okay, so you'll go through the whole file focusing on toll to find every single toll gate that has the manual operation. Once you've done that, once you've gone through the whole file, we're going to type in here barrier. Scroll back to the top and say find next. You see the ones we've changed already? That was under toll, but now it's given us barrier. So barrier. Okay, let's go to border one, find next, barrier manual. And this is on the border. There you go. Okay, so we need to change this to automatic. So Control V, automatic. Let's click on next, find next. There we go, barrier distance. We don't want to change that. So yeah, nothing needs to be changed. We're only looking for the barrier manual. That's the one that we're looking for. So find next, barrier distance, click away. Find next, barrier distance. Make sure you always click just below it so that it can give you, so you don't have, so it doesn't send you back to the beginning. And as you can see, my slider here will move down as we go down. It will jump. Barrier gas, it's not necessarily a barrier, a physical barrier, but this is the section where the icon appears, where you fill up your tank. That's basically what that refers to. Okay, so let's find the next one, barrier automatic. There's a border light auto pass, so it's automatic. Next one, there we go. Okay, if we scroll slightly up, you'll see that this will be a border pass, auto pass. Some of it is manual, some of it is automatic. So double click that, Control V, Control V. Unfortunately, you've got to do these individually. Come on. You can't just highlight the whole thing, because if you highlight the whole thing, remember 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Each barrier has an allocation, and you'll see down here that these ones have different allocation numbers, and some of them are manual. So you'll have to go through each one individually and just make sure that you get through the whole thing. Okay. In the case now, you see that it's 1 up to 5 and then 12 up to 17. If you really want to, you can click the up arrow. It'll take you back to this one, and you highlight 1 to 5. You say Control C and you press the down key. Click away there, down key, and you highlight these ones. You can do that in one go, Control V. So just make sure that you got the sequencing right and the tabbing right as well. So let's go back up again, and we take 18 to 25, Control C. Actually, I'm going to take it from there down, Control C, and we're going to go next. Oh, you see, that doesn't work out, because we've got 12 to 17. That one was 18 to 25. So that will never work out. That will be a problem for you. You will create a mismatch in the game, and the game will crash. So take a note from me again. Rather do it individually. So Control C, and then you highlight each one individually. Control V. Like that, you're safe. If you really know what you're doing, by all means, you know, you'll obviously know how to take the shortcuts on this. But for those of you who don't, this is the best way to do it. And as you can see, the same thing again. Okay, this is the last one I'm doing, so we don't waste too much time on this. And there we go, and that's done. So you'll go all the way down to the bottom of the file, and as you can see here, my slider is now down here. Okay, so that explains the barriers, the collisions, and the automatic or the animation of the barriers. So we've cancelled all that. This video is so that you, if you don't want to stop at the toll gates, if you don't want to pay fees, this is for you to decide how you want to change it. And I've just shown you. And I think that's the lot. I want to keep these videos as short and sweet and as simple as possible. And we've just covered this one as well. So you save that file, and that's the lot. We've just added 4 new files to our mod, and the mod is really taking shape now. Okay, so once you save this file, what we need to do, we can close this, close that. Let's just close everything up. Okay, obviously we've added these 4 files in here now, and that's not part of the mod. Close that up, close that up. Okay, highlight everything, right click, add to archive. That's what comes up. Right, we're going to change this to zip. We're going to change the compression method to store, and we're going to change the file extension to SCS. Even though ETS now recognizes zip as a format, I still like to keep it to old school. I still like to leave the SCS file extension. Just makes it easier in the mod manager to recognize things. So yeah, just keep doing the way you're doing. It will work out. You say, okay, job done. My mods, you can move it out here, move here, and we can close the my mod folder. We open this up now. There we go. Def, build. There's your 4 new files. Road look template, semaphore, model, and profile. And if we go into, let's go into model. Let's search for toll. Oh, another tip. Once you've typed it in once, you can just click on the drop-down arrow and it will pop up there and you just say find next. And there we go. And you can see that everything's been changed. All good. Okay. Very simple, very easy to do. And once you've done this, you can close this. Pop that into your mod manager. Not into your mod manager, into your Eurotruck document folder, into mods folder. And then when you open up your Eurotruck, obviously into your mod manager and give it high priority and everything will work. Guys, if you like what you see, keep watching. There's more content coming up. Very soon we're going to start digging into some nice little mods, especially truck-wise, upping the performance of your truck, maybe a bit of economy scaling, helping you with a bit more income, that kind of thing. There's a bit of content coming up. Keep watching my videos. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. If you've got any comments, any suggestions, drop them down below. Let me know what you think. And I will get to everyone, I promise you. I will answer each one. And if there's valid requests for other content, let me know. Let's do it. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed it. And I'll catch you on the next one.